and the fastest selling adventure motorcycle in the country. So can I have a round of applause for the adventure? So as I told you, we breathe, we eat, sleep, racing. Yeah, this product comes from our racing powerhouse, the RC 390, purely designed on the bike you see photographed towards the left. Yeah, before I take you through the presentation and give you all the intricacies and details of the motorcycle, just visualize that bike there. What you have under this hood is nothing but a complete replica of what that bike can do. Of course, it's not that powerful because you can't use those bikes on the streets. The cops will be after you, and I'm sure they'll never be able to catch you. And that is one more thing about KTM. You know, once a cop gets after you, you can't catch you. Am I right? Anybody experience that? A lot of people have told me that. That once I'm on a KTM, nobody can get me. So just keep that bike in your mind while I'm talking. While I'm telling you everything about the motorcycle, it's nothing but the little brother, if I have to say, of that bike you see towards the right. And that's where KTM has started moving now. I'm sure a lot of you all who have seen the old RCs have, we've got a lot of feedback from customers saying that, sir, पुरानी RC ना बहुत sharp थी, बहुत. But मेरे पास words नहीं. You ask me, I don't know what to get from those feedbacks. पुरानी आरसी ऐसी दिखती थी, शार्प थी, फास्ट जाती थी, ये होता था, वो होता था. ठीक है, हमारी भी शक्लें बदल गई. Right? Do we have the same face as we were 1 year old? Right? We also become more grand. We also become more handsome. We also start looking better as we grow up. That's with the motorcycle also. That's with any automobile. That's with anything. When generation changes, the looks have to change. हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि सर पुरानी वाली अच्छी. KTM is not a retro brand. We are not Royal Enfield. वो अपनी retro look maintain करते हैं, वो उनका धंधा है. They sell on retro. We sell on technology. And when technology has to operate, the face has to operate. Because with technology, we bring in various features which demand modifications in design. If I'm giving you a faster RC, I need to make it more aerodynamic. While everybody felt that the previous RC, and here I'm talking about my entire RC family, my RC 125, my RC 200, I have to make my bike more aerodynamic. If I have to fit in more features into the bike, I have to make it look different. Otherwise, why you would pay me that premium? Why you would buy a bike? Across automobile segment, and I find this, ये मुझे बहुत अलग लगता है ऑटोमोबाइल में, 4-wheelers में और 2-wheelers में. तो खास करके मैंने KTM में पिछले 4 साल में देखा है. So I come from the marketing background of KTM. I've been managing marketing for nearly 4 years for KTM for the West region. I've recently moved into sales about a year back. But what I find different is ऑटोमोबाइल में जब फेसलिफ्ट आता है तो लोग एकदम खुश हो जाते हैं. हाँ भाई, नई दिखने वाली गाड़ी आ गई, नई लाइट्स लग गई, LED आ गया, DRL आ गया. एग्जैक्टली ऑपोजिट यहाँ होता है. जैसी नई गाड़ी आती है लोग बोलते हैं यार पुरानी गाड़ी अच्छी है. एंड मैं 4 साल में ये पजल सॉल्व नहीं कर पाया. ऑल आई हैव टू टेल यू इज व्हेन टेक्नोलॉजी गोज अप, डिजाइन मॉडिफिकेशंस आर non-negotiable. And these are some of the best designers in the world who are designing the KTM motorcycles. This is not happening here in India. This is not happening anywhere close around here. It is happening it's done by Kiska, which is one of the best in the business. And coming back to my point, the guys who designed that motorcycle, you can't ask them questions. Right? That's a MotoGP winning motorcycle. Now, if there was a flaw in the design, you mean to say it could have raced down tracks? Because there is no chance for error. It's a microsecond, a millisecond, a fraction of a second, and you lose the race. And that's where these products are coming from. So, without giving you more on that, let me just take you through what the KTM RC 390 is all about. So first, let's just have a look at the product. video talks about. Did you see this guy standing on a normal road and just imagining what the bike could have done on a racetrack? And this was this very motorcycle on the test track in Australia that stands in front of you. We've not got anything different. हमने कोई उसको downgrade नहीं किया है या हिंदुस्तानी स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से कुछ नया बना नहीं. It's exactly that motorcycle that you saw. So there it is. The video itself speaks a lot. But let me take you through some more stuff. Now what's new? What's new? Can you see the screen? Sorry, I'll just move that side. So what's new in 2022? Host of electronic features. Yeah, we come with an MTC. What's an MTC? Motorcycle traction control. Yeah. We give you cornering ABS, very essential in a race motorcycle, and of course in off-road motorcycles as well. We also come with a quick shifter plus, which is the true quick shifter plus. And let me tell you this: there are a lot of other manufacturers in the market who speak about quick shifter, right? But here we bring to you a quick shifter plus, which is actually something which is actually where you can change your gears without using the clutch after an RPM of 3000. That is quick shifter plus. Okay. What comes new? The TFT dash display and the LED headlights. You will see that once the motorcycle is unveiled. Well, then as I told you, you look at this motorcycle. In terms of its ergonomics, we bring in an improved knee area, the rider and pillion seat foot pegs and footrests. The upgraded WP Apex suspension, which are race-derived Apex suspensions, and of course USDs, which were originally upside-down forks, are a part of all our motorcycles. So that's where I mean, I'm here to tell you that a lot of people come up to me and tell me KTM is expensive. Come on, yeah, you're not going to operate a race motorcycle with a telescopic suspension, right? A lot of manufacturers give you cheaper motorcycles, calling them race-derived motorcycles. Well, there is no race-derived motorcycle with a telescopic suspension. If that is the case, then might as well go and buy the Hero and the Honda Shine and the Hero Splendor. Yes, what makes it more powerful, what makes it more ready for the racetrack is the larger airbox. So that means, simple terms, the bigger lung size, more air to the engine, and more power output. Yeah. And what I was talking about, making the bike more aerodynamic, that's what this motorcycle brings. Foldable mirrors and clip-on handles, so you can adjust your handlebar. A lot of people had complaints in the previous RC ke feet dukti hai. So we have taken that feedback, we've given you an adjustable handle, which is about 10 mm. You'll see a couple of videos which will give you information on that. Larger fuel tank, again, something that is required because we don't have racetracks on the road, but we want to ride longer. We give you about a 13.7 liter fuel tank now. The chrome steel frame. One new thing that comes along with this motorcycle, initially we had a single trellis frame. Now it's a bolt-on subframe, so it's a split trellis frame. And again, that is purely a race motorcycle spec. You can take any fed motorcycle in the entire country. And I don't want to speak about the Japanese. Yeah. They sell you race motorcycles, but they give you a single frame. They give you a delta box frame, and they call it race motorcycles. They're not race motorcycles. We at KTM understand what racing is. Hence, we are what we are. Well, the wheels and the hollow axle reduces the weight of the motorcycle. Again, a very important part of a racing motorcycle is lighter weight. Lighter weight does not essentially mean lesser power. Lighter weight also gives you better maneuverability. Yeah, so you have good power, better maneuverability with the entire design. So that's where I come back to the point where I started with, that to get all this in a motorcycle, design changes are, you can't avoid. Yeah. I don't want to repeat the dialogue of KGF2, violence, violence, violence. Design changes are not, I mean, you can't do without. We can't give you the same motorcycle and put all this. And then, if we do that, we are simply fooling you, like many others do. And that's not at KTM. So what we were talking about was the MDC, the spin adjuster as we call it, motorcycle traction control. A millisecond of an intervention, in ensuring that there is optimal control on different riding surfaces. So again, India is a land where you have rain, you have heat, you have dust on the road, you have gravel. Most of our roads are suited for the adventure actually. Now, ideally, we should be selling more adventures in India than any other motorcycle, because most of our roads are off-roads. Yeah. But yeah, the MTC also forms part of this motorcycle. The next is the cornering ABS, absolutely non-negotiable feature in a race spec motorcycle, yeah, which gives you better controls on corners. I would not advise you using cornering ABS on the streets, but wherever you are out on a track or on highways, it's your safety guard, it's your insurance out there. Yeah. And then I was talking about the quick shifter plus. Above 3000 RPM, you get to shift your gears without using the clutch. This is true quick shifter plus technology. There are people in the market who are selling you quick shifters, but let me tell you, they are just gimmicks. You can use our motorcycle, you can test it with the other motorcycle, you will feel the difference. I did not speak about it. I would request whenever you have a chance, please test out those quick shifters and let me know, and then test my motorcycles out and let me know. Because I get this feature not only in the RC 390 but also in my 390 Adventure and my 390. Next. Play the first video. That's the MTC.
Motorcycle traction control uses a combination of ride-by-wire throttle system with 3D IMU and the wheel speed sensor to regulate the amount of power delivered to the rear wheel. So should the rider ask for more than what the road conditions will allow at a certain lean angle, the power will be regulated and allow the rider to accelerate the optimal traction out of the corner. Cornering ABS supports a rider when they enter an unforeseen circumstance or the road conditions vary. With 3D IMU, the Bosch ABS pump modulator and wheel speed sensor works heavily mid-corner. The ABS modulator will apply the right pressure to the calipers so the bike is not disturbed and the wheels do not lock up, keeping the rider on his line and travelling through the corner at safety. This allows the rider to change through the gears touchless. So when on the throttle, the rider can click his way up through the gearbox without using the drive, and equally when braking cars, he can downshift with a throttle click in itself.
What I was also speaking to you about was the all-new TFT display, which is a color display which you can see across our entire 390 range. This was something that was not a part of the initial 390s, the initial RC 390, but now it's a standard feature across all the 390 cc's of KTM. The next bit of this is the Supermoto ABS. One of the features that I love the most is it allows you to be a little more funny on the roads. Yeah. You basically switch off your rear ABS and then you can drift the motorcycle. So let's have a look at the videos of both the features.
This means all this information gets fed through to the rider in color and in a way that it's easily understandable. Thanks to the TFT dash, we were also able to include KTM RC. This means that the rider can receive incoming calls or switch through a playlist and listen to some music.
The RC 390 boasts a distinctive LED headlight. The functionality is greatly improved over the outgoing models with a much improved beam pattern, brightness, and visibility for upgrade users. In addition to the headlight, we've also integrated LED running lights along the side of the bearing, which also integrate the LED indicators. The LED brake light also seamlessly integrates into the new sharp design on the rear of the bike. rider when they have to brake in unexpected circumstances or varying road conditions. But we also want to support supermoto ABS. This does multiple things. This allows the rider to disengage the ABS from the rear wheel, allowing them to slide the bike and back it into a corner. This also allows the rider to brake heavily on the front without the front ABS kicking in when the bike starts to pitch, because it knows the rider in a sporty circumstance and is pushing the bike harder than they typically would on the road.
Yeah, so we move on to the heart, which is the engine, which is 370cc liquid cooled double overhead camshaft FI engine. That is the standard 390cc engine that we have across our motorcycles. Then of course, as I was talking to you about, the 40% larger airbox than the previous one, which gives it more air, burn more fuel, and to let out that extra power. The slipper clutch, again, very standard feature across all our 390cc's and now into the 250cc's, which basically allows you to slip down clutches without having the chattering noise, which would be disturbing. At the same time, not very comfortable when you have to suddenly shift down your clutch. Suddenly shift down your gear, sorry. Next. Let's have a look at the videos.
With over 320 world championships, I think it's fair to say that we have credibility when it comes to racing. Majority of these championships were won with single cylinders. For the RC range, we've gone for a state-of-the-art, liquid-cooled, single-cylinder four-stroke engine with twin overhead camshafts, with carbon-coated handfollowers and 4 valves.
In 2022, we've made some small but instrumental changes to the engine and fuel injection system. One of the key changes we've made is increasing the volume of the airbox. We've done this by approximately 40%. This means more air is fed to the engine and gives us better flexibility in terms of engine mapping. And by adding ambient sensors, it's more accurate too. By doing so, we've increased the torque output of the engine, but we've also changed the torque curve itself. This has improved the reliability and engine characteristics all round. Also new for this model here is the Bolton subframe. This has benefits in terms of weight, but also with contrasting colours, the mainframe has a striking visual appearance. This new design setup to reduce weight mainframe and the Bolton subframe, we've achieved the weight saving of 1.5 kilograms.
That's a considerable weight reduction for a race pack motorcycle. If you carefully watched the first video, he spoke about major of the 320 World Championship titles won on a single cylinder. So I'm sure that statement just spells out what KTM can do in terms of its race pack motorcycles and the products that we bring up. Next. Yeah. So I was talking about the aerodynamic design. It comes directly from the experiences of a MotoGP racer. Yeah. Once the motorcycle was designed, it was driven on the track by a MotoGP racer to check for aerodynamics of the motorcycle. That's the depth in which we go. Next is the adjustable handlebars, which gives you complete control and optimum riding position. As I told you, it can be adjusted 10 mm, and you can achieve that complete racing posture as well. And at the same time, you can adjust it for the city roads. The rider contact, as I told you, it's a more rider-friendly motorcycle now. People had problems with the rear seat. People had problems with too much of bending on the motorcycle. All that has been taken care of in this motorcycle.
Designed to fund a motorcycle, taking inspiration and learning from the aerodynamics of our Grand Prix keys. By having a large clean front surface, we can now displace a large amount of air in a control panel. Using CFD technology, we map out the airflow around motorcycles, and by using the surface of the car, we can create a clean air bubble around the rider, reducing drag and improving overall top speed.
With computational fluid dynamics, we feed data into a computer and we look at the effect of different fluids on different surfaces. That way, we can really fine-tune the aerodynamics of the motorcycle. After we've achieved this, we take the motorcycle and put it into a wind tunnel and we get the optimum aerodynamics from a bike. Has been redesigned to accommodate the clip-on style handlebars. This allows the rider to choose between two positions varying in 10 millimeters in height. This track day owners won't allow you to ride around the track with your mirrors out. And luckily, with the Model Year 22 RC range, you can now fold your mirrors in for those unique track day experiences. Or you need to get to the tight spot on the road. Being such a ready-to-race company, we know the importance of making the rider and the bike as one. We've changed the surface area where the rider is ready to go. We've tried to make it as smooth as possible with no hard points and no bumps. This means when you change direction from left to right or moving around on the motorcycle, you have a nice big smooth area.
Smooth surface means consistency, and that's what riders are looking for when they're hunting those extra millimeters for tight apex, looking for inside line.
So how are these features? Yeah. All respect. Did I say anything good about the motorcycle? Yeah. We're talking about a completely rider-friendly, a racer-friendly motorcycle that has been brought to India. Well, to add to that, something that Indian consumers look at, तेल ज़्यादा होना चाहिए so that हर बार पेट्रोल पंप में जाना पड़े. That was the feedback. There it is. So we've listened to everything. And while we've listened to everything, we've also given you that extra bit. And we have made our motorcycles better. We have made our motorcycles more aerodynamic. I mean, coming back to this whole discussion of where people have told us that the new RCs, front बहुत बड़ा है. See the reason why. We're deflecting more air out of it. We're giving you lesser drag. That is the reason of doing it. As I told you again, I'm repeating myself. When technology steps in, design modifications, you cannot avoid. If you want that, pace has to change. Yeah. So that's the 30.7 liter fuel tank, and of course the seats. Once the motorcycle opens up, I don't want to speak too much about it. That is something that you can actually touch and feel. They're more premium, better for your girlfriend's wife sitting behind. That was one feedback, and even me, when I before even joining KTM, I always wondered how a person sits on an RC behind. One day I went, this is before joining KTM. One day I went and actually touched the rear of the old RC. And I said, "Yeah, this is rubber." And then I was on the road, I used to see the guy sitting in the front and then braking, and the public पीछे वाला गिरेगा, तो वो यहाँ बैठता. So all those things have been taken care of, and hence you see a completely new motorcycle. Last feature.
When we looked at the tank, we decided to completely redesign the shape of the tank and also the size of the tank. We went from a 9.5 litre to a 13.7 litre fuel tank. This means for the everyday rider or the endurance racer, you can get more mileage before you have to stop for the next fuel station or pit stop.
To achieve such an increase in tank capacity, we had to re-evaluate the design from the previous model. From the last generation, we had the electronics package up front, so battery, main ECU, at the tank, both at the back between the right legs. But here we reversed that. we've moved the electronics between the rider and the fuel tank up front. This allowed us to produce a wider fuel tank. So one, it's more visually impressive, but two, could also hold more fuel. This also holds more weight over the front of the motorcycle on the full tank, which improves handling.
Focus bus, when designing the new RC range, was completely redeveloped, not only the rider seat, but also the passenger seat. When designing these seats, we had three key focus points in mind. Our first point was to visually make both rider and passenger seat look a lot better. Secondly, improve the comfort of both seats. And thirdly, improve the active riding dynamics.
So what does this mean and how have we achieved it? First of all, for the visuals, we used an Alcantara style material and added some distinctive RC branding. For comfort, we've doubled the photo thickness. So this dramatically changes the comfort of the rider and the pillion. But despite doubling the photo thickness, we've managed to achieve the same seat height as the outgoing model. Active riding dynamics. We've completely revised the shape of the seat. So for the rider, there's a better contact when moving around, and also the Alcantara material gives a better grip. So even in wet conditions, the rider can feel more very control.
Rider feel is of the utmost importance to us. What we've done is we've completely redesigned both rider and passenger footpegs, making them lighter and also increasing the surface area.
The shifting mechanism was also revised to improve feeling when changing gears. And for the real racer who's pushing his bike to the limits here and going to extreme lean angles, we've also changed the foot plates on the brake and the gear lever itself. These are now foldable, so if they make contact with the track surface, they can fold back and not disrupt the rider's flow.
So I think these are some things that we've already spoken about. So before we move on and not really want to compare ourselves to anything. But yeah, so feedbacks on the motorcycle, from whatever you see, even before you see it. Anybody, I leave it open now before I call in our dealer principal, Mr. Sandeep Dute, to take the thing forward. Any doubts? Any good things that I should hear about the motorcycle? Any negatives that you see in the motorcycle through the presentation right now? Yeah, guys are waiting. I see a lot of riders here. I see somebody who would also come on a, I think a Yamaha R15. Anybody? No? Anybody here?
So मैं curiosity है कब unveiling होगा?
वो तो यार थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. तो ऐसा है, वो सारी चीजें इतनी आसानी से नहीं. गाड़ी देखी है, बिल्कुल दिखाएंगे. So anyways, I here take the opportunity to call our dealer principal, Mr. Sandeep Dute.
Hello everyone. कैसे क्या चल रहे? All good. तो आज सुबह मैं किसी से बात कर रहा था. बात ये हो रही है कि हर एक चीज का प्राइस होता है, सर. आपको क्या लगता है क्या प्राइस होना चाहिए? एनी गेसेस, एनी आइडियाज? 3 lakhs. Indian mentality. So price should be reasonable, attractive. What do you think?
आप लोगों से कोई?
Anyone from this side?
On road.
You are close.
On road.
Yeah,
On road. Okay. I don't want आपने सब नहीं तो फिगर देख के बोल.
बट आपको क्या लगता है अभी जो ये नए दिस इज ऑल आरसी, ऑल न्यू आरसी, राइट? तो इसमें जो एडिशनल फीचर्स आए हैं, ऑब्वियस प्राइसिंग में आपको क्या लगता है कि थोड़ा कम ज़्यादा हायर साइड हो सकता है, प्लस माइनस हो सकता है, क्या लगता है? Anyone from this side?
Better feature, better price.
Oh, great.
That's the right way
So,
to put it.
ज़्यादा आपका वक्त नहीं लूँगा. So the price for
Before we do that, let's just again see what's on their mind before we reveal the price. I'm playing that video again for you. As I told you, we know what's on your mind, but you're not telling it to us. आप हमको बता नहीं रहे हो. Any guesses before I press the last button? Do we know what's on your mind? Last guesses.
last
Closest. We will reveal the X showroom to you.
3.7.
On
what
road
we are at?
3.20. Yeah, anybody?
3.17.
About 4 lakh. X showroom.
X showroom.
X showroom. X showroom. X showroom.
3.70.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, should I go ahead?
Yes, yes. Only 3.14 lakhs. X showroom Pune.
Now anything about the motorcycle after we reveal the price? We are giving you that photograph at 3.14 lakhs. Do you find a better proposition in the motorcycling industry? Tell me. And let's be honest, we're all a group of people here. There's no harm. We at KTM, our video just told you we know what's on your mind. We always know what's on your mind. We've been doing business for 10 years in India. We are with Bajaj Auto, so we've been doing business for 75 years in India. Motorcycles is something that we eat and sleep and drink. So, do you find anybody at this price giving you that motorcycle? Of course, I'm not telling you I'm going to give you that. That is way above this. And they're not for sale. Any of y'all, if you have, if you just before the pandemic, if you saw videos of the India Bike Week, you would see that that bike had come. We had got that bike to India, and trust me, it was the most clicked motorcycle in the entire India Bike Week. So if I have to give you a ratio, 9.7 people on 10 had a photograph of themselves on that motorcycle through Instagram impressions. So we had got 2 of those motorcycles here. We always asked the KTM team in Austria when are you going to give us a replica. So they said here it is. They gave us the RC. So anything else before we move on and build more? So I have.
इसके साथ में I would like to say thank you to all. काफी शॉर्ट नोटिस पे, काफी शॉर्ट टाइम पे आप लोग यहाँ पे आए इस फंक्शन में. इसके साथ में और एक रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा कि जैसे बोलते हैं ना शादियों में कि खाना खा के जाइए बाद में, तो मेरा आपसे रिक्वेस्ट रहेगा कि बाइक जैसे अनवेलिंग होते हैं तो हमारे यहाँ पे टेस्ट राइड भी अवेलेबल है. बाइक का चारों जो आरसी एडवेंचर ड्यूक, तो उसका टेस्ट राइड भी अवेलेबल है. प्लीज जैसे ही फंक्शन खत्म होता है आप टेस्ट राइड ले सकते हैं, आइदर ऐप से टेस्ट राइड बुक भी कर सकते हैं. सो थैंक यू ऑल, थैंक यू सो मच.
स्टार्ट भी कर देंगे, सब चालू चालू. ना मेरा कैमरा ठीक है चलो नहीं
Now, before revealing the prize, it's a time to celebrate. So, Mr. Rajit Shinde will perform a small performance here, and then we will unveil the prize. Mr. Rajit Shinde.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for a lovely performance. Truly with the energy of the all new item K19. Can I have some crowd moving, please? Without music, ये कपड़ा उठेगा नहीं. Please join us.
तुषार प्लीज everyone please
उनको दे दो तुम
lights
आ जाना
Yes.